welcome back to my channel. So two things before we get started. I am using natural lighting right now with my ring light. My camera is sitting right in front of my window, but I'm using the ring light. And that brings me to the second thing is it's storming outside pretty dang bad right now. So you probably hear the rain. You know, maybe it's soothing. Maybe it'll make you have to pee. I don't know. But you probably hear the rain. But along with the rain, it is thundering and lightning and it is dark outside. So just bear with me. Okay, so today we're talking about all of the eyeshadow palettes that I'm definitely going to be using all summer long. So I feel like summertime is such a fun time for makeup because you're starting to transition into just the really fun kind of warmer tones, the peachy tones, the tones that we all really like, right? So springtime I feel like is more cool tones, more glitters, more pinks, more purples. And then as the summer and fall roll around, you get more into the peaches and the warms and things like that. So I thought it would be fun to make a video to show you guys the palettes that I'm definitely going to be using all summer long. We are barely in the middle of spring right now, but I'm just getting prepared. I'm pre-filming actually, so this video might go up when summer is already here. We'll see. Okay, let's get the two most expensive ones out of the way first, just because they're the most expensive ones. And you know, they're not for everybody. They're a great formula. I promise you they're the best formula I've ever tried, but they're very pricey. So these are the Natasha Nonna palettes. The first one I have here is the Tropic palette. This one was released last summer. I actually picked it up right before my wedding, and my wedding was in Punta Cana. So it was perfect, just like the perfect fun like resort wedding palette. I don't know, I didn't use it on my wedding day, but I used it every day leading up to my wedding when I would go to the bar or go to the beach or go to the pool or whatever, and I wanted fun makeup. I mean, look at this. Does this palette not scream summertime to you? It's absolutely beautiful. So you got lots of mattes in here, lots of warm tone mattes. You got pinks and peaches and warm tone browns. You got some really pretty crease colors here. You got this really unique kind of like yellowy crystally topper called Limoncello. It's a very interesting eyeshadow. It is so hard to swatch. There you go. But it's kind of a fun like highlight color. And then you have these really pretty blues down here. So more particularly this color Mint Frost is just gorgeous. And it is a, look at that swatch on my finger. It is a formula unlike any other, you guys. Like, it is so smooth. Look at that. Look at how pretty that is. If you are a blue eyeshadow fan, that's one that you must have. Like, there's a bit of shimmer in it, and it looks so pretty on your lash line and your inner tear duct. Oh my god, there's so many fun things you can do with that color. Tiger Lily is another one that's just like this beautiful deep blue. I mean, look at that, you guys. Oh my gosh, so pretty. Here's how it swatches. I love this palette. I know there was a lot of controversy about this palette. I guess Natasha Nonna like changed her formula when she released this palette. I don't have a problem with it. I stinking love it. Highly recommend it. So there's that one. This next one I'm cheating just a little bit on because I technically, ooh, Lola, don't do that, baby. Don't bite yourself like that. You can't tell, but Lola's sitting right here next to me and she has stitches on her. She had some tumors removed and she was just like biting at one of them. No, baby, those need to heal. You can't bite it. So I just recently picked this up and I've only used it once, but I know for sure I'm gonna use this palette to death, like to death, you guys, because it is the most perfect neutral palette I think I've ever found. It is so beautiful. It's the Natasha Nonna Biba palette. The packaging is very similar to the Tropics palette. They both have like a hard case to them. This one has more of a soft matte finish. This one is like a shiny whatever. It doesn't matter. Packaging is just packaging, right? But here's what it looks like. They both have a really big mirror too. So the reason why I say I know I'm going to use this one a lot is because I feel like it has the most perfect mixture of mid-tone mattes, dark mattes. You have your all over lid color right here, and they are beautiful, like, oh my god, champagne-y, like papa color, and they swatch so nicely, you guys. So this color Monroe, I'm wearing all over my lid today, and then this color Shine is a little bit darker version of Monroe. So look at those. Those would be so pretty as like wedding colors, prom colors. Can you guys even see those? That's the lowest my ring light goes. Oh my gosh, they're so pretty. They swatch so beautifully, and you don't need like a Fix Plus or something wet on your brush in order to make it look that pretty. It just looks like that, like on its own. The formula is that good. So yeah, then you also have like your warmer neutrals. You have some cool tone neutrals down here. You have some grays, you have a black. I just feel like I'm going to use this so much. There are so many universally flattering colors in here. And the mattes in these palettes, oh my god, they're so good, you guys. So I'm cheating a little bit with that one, but I know for sure I'm going to get a ton of use out of it. I'm definitely a neutral girl, as you can probably tell by most of these palettes I'm about to show you, but warm tone neutrals are something that I kind of fall in love with and fall out of love with. I think it depends on the season, but summertime is definitely a time where I start to fall back in love with my like warm toned neutrals. So the first palette I want to talk to you about that's very, very warm toned is the Tarte Toasted palette. I picked this up at Ulta during their 21 Days of Beauty. It was 50% off, so I was like, okay, I'll take that for 50% off. So here's what it looks like. As you can see, very warm toned, very peachy, very just toasted. I mean, they named it perfectly. I can imagine myself sunbathing wearing this. I don't know, that's what I picture when I see this. But I will say the Tarte formula is very, very good. Some Tarte palettes or some Tarte palettes I like, some Tarte eyeshadows I don't like. The Tarte formula is one that I actually do like, and they smell really good too. They kind of smell like vanilla. So anyways, you got some good shimmers in here, you got some good mattes in here. It's like a nice mixture of everything, and you can get one eye look with one palette. You don't have to be dipping into multiple palettes, which is definitely a plus. So you got a good kind of base color right there. Let's see, what other one should I swatch for you? We'll swatch Candle, which is like a good champagne all over lid color. Warmth is like a good, ooh, that's so soft, you guys. It's kind of a good either deepening color or crease color. And then let's swatch one of these darker colors. Let's swatch Fireside, which is the darkest in the palette. So here, oh, look at how smooth that is. So nice. Of course, not quite as buttery or as blendable as Natasha Denona, but still a really good substitute. If you want a Natasha Denona palette, if you really want to splurge on the perfect warm toned Natasha Denona palette, the Sunset palette is kind of like the high-end version of this Toasted palette. I didn't want to include it in this video. I have it. I didn't want to include it in this video though because I didn't want to like overwhelm you with a bunch of super expensive palettes, but that one is really good too. So yeah, there's that. And then I have two more palettes to tell you guys about, so the top 5. This one is the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. I think by now everybody knows what this Sweet Peach palette is. It had its moment in the spotlight and then it comes and goes, but this is going to be your perfect peach palette. It smells like peach. I think it smells like peach rings, the candy. It is so, so pretty. There's lots of fun colors in here. I always find myself using the color Luscious, which is just kind of like a champagne all over lid color. This color Caramelized is really nice. It's a matte powder with a slight dusting of golden glitter in there. And then you have, of course, your warm kind of peanut butter matte colors. Maybe I'll swatch one of those. Let's swatch Summer Yum. And then I will swatch one of these purples, Delectable. I do have a video all about this when it was first released that I can maybe find and link down below for you. Depends on how far I have to dig. But yeah, here's what the swatches look like. In that video, I swatch all the colors. But if you're really looking for a fun, peachy eye look, just something that literally screams summertime, then the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette is going to be your best bet. Okay, last but definitely not least is the Urban Decay Naked Reloaded palette. So sadly, you can no longer get the Naked One or the Naked Original. They replaced it with this Naked Reloaded palette, which I think is not as good, but it's definitely still a good palette, and it's definitely very, very summertime. Again, you have that warm kind of corally peachy color popped in there. The color Retro is right here. It's a matte color. The unique thing about this palette compared to the other Naked palettes is you have some pans that are bigger than other pans. So the two on either side are bigger than the rest. I kind of like that because they picked colors that you seem like that you will probably use more often. That way, you know, you don't run out of them as fast because they're bigger pans. So I thought that was kind of a genius idea. So the color Boundaries is a matte, kind of nice mid-tone you can use in your crease. You got some fun glitters in this palette. So you got the color Dreamweaver, which is almost like a taupe, maybe? Yeah, like a gunmetal taupe, but with a little bit of brown in there. And then let's swatch Angel Fire. Ooh, the color Barely Baked is beautiful too. Okay, well that's okay. We'll just swatch these 4 right here. So it's hard to swatch anything that's on my pinky. The one thing you have to watch out for with Urban Decay glitters is sometimes they have a lot of fallout, so you might need to use like a Fix Plus or something to keep them in place. But here's what the swatches look like. I feel like something like a Naked palette is kind of a good go-to staple. They're not super expensive. This one is around the $45 range, maybe a little bit less. They're a formula that you know and love, and that everybody knows and loves. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like if you don't know, you're not willing to make the splurge on something really expensive, maybe this is a little too warm for you, or you're not a fan of fragrance, then go for something like the Naked Reloaded. That's my recommendation. Alright guys, so those are the top 5 eyeshadow palettes that I will definitely be using all summer long. Let me know what your favorite summer warm toned, peachy toned eyeshadow palette is in the comment section down below so that I can check it out or pull it out of my collection because I might have it already and use it this summer. And thank you guys so much for watching. I will talk to you next time.